Alec Silberblatt is back in Pittsburgh. You've been away for a while, but you are from here. Is that right?
Yeah, I grew up here, and I come back a lot to do plays and act in plays and such stuff like that.
So where are you coming back from then?
I live in New York. I've lived there for 7 years. I went to school in Cincinnati, then went directly to New York and do regional theater all over the country, but a lot of times come back to Pittsburgh.
So what is it about Pittsburgh, other than the fact that you're from here, that continues to pull you back?
The people are the best people in the world.
How about it?
Yeah. Real good people, real solid people, and the theater community is really, even though there's a lot of people in it, it feels small and it feels intimate. And whereas in other cities, or especially in New York, you don't know the artistic leadership of theaters. You get to know them pretty intimately here.
Do they hide? Is that what it is?
Well, they're elitist, so they you can't get in with them.
All right, so we don't have any elitist artistic leaders here in Pittsburgh.
No.
I did not know that, but I'm really glad to discover that.
It doesn't seem that way to me. Yeah.
Well, that's good. I think that's a really wonderful thing to say. About it here. So you return to us now with a new play that you have written and are performing in.
Yeah.
Have I got that right?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How's it going?
It's great because I'm not directing it too. Thank goodness.
Cool. Who's directing it here?
A lovely woman named Maura O'Sullivan. We met doing a play. She's an actor and a director, and she's fantastic, and she's really shaped this thing into something really, really beautiful and really nice. And
it will be performed here at Carnegie Stage. That's where we're having the interview today. So what is the show? What can you tell us about this?
Sure, yeah. It's called the MON VALLEY MEDIUM. It's a great title, if I do say so myself.
And when we say medium, we are talking about like someone with psychic abilities.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not just that they can fit into a smaller size Steelers jersey.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. That might be rare in the Mon Valley.
No. The Mon Valley Medium certainly cannot fit into a medium-sized Steelers uniform. He's described as looking like a thumb with a chin-strap beard on it. So he's
in the face.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's So
I can picture it. That's a great description.
That's his description. It follows, the play is a monologue play, so it's just my character, Mac, retelling a story, an experience that happened to him in the recent past, where his best friend Billy's daughter was kidnapped and murdered. My character tells Billy to go see the medium, the Mon Valley medium, the guy who looks like a thumb, to find out who killed his daughter. And when his daughter speaks to him from the dead and tells him who did it, sort of chaos ensues. And there's a lot of fallout, and my character is left with a lot of guilt as to what happens as a result of his telling his friend to go do this. And that's really that's like the midpoint of the play. And then from then on, to give anything else would be a spoiler. So
by that point, we hope you have buckled your seatbelt.
There's no doubt. I don't even hope. There is no doubt that you will have.
And this fascinating story is all told in about 70 minutes? Is that what you said?
Oh yeah, 70 minutes.
That's a lot to do in that short amount of time. And again, it's all you. It is a one-person show.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have written other plays. Have they all been sort of monologue pieces, or have they been dialogue pieces with several characters?
Yeah, this is my first outing into like the monologue territory. I wanted to write something that we could take to a lot of different kinds of theaters and sort of put up wherever we wanted for very little money. But I have written other plays that are 4 characters, 5 characters, and dialogue back and forth.
So is the process for you very different? Is it a different approach? Is it more stream of consciousness when you're writing a monologue, or is it just as kind of structured a process as it is when you're writing multiple characters?
That's a great question. I wouldn't say it's stream of consciousness. I've never really written that in that sort of way. It's certainly still structured as a play. I don't know that I could ever write something that isn't structured. It's probably my my weakness.
I'd say that's a strength.
I don't know. I think some people would call that, some theater professors might call that a weakness.
A well-structured play would be a weakness. Well, if they're into the avant-garde.
Yeah, right. It's a little bit different in that I was trying consciously to make this about the specifics. So like with a 4-character full-length feature play, or whatever you want to say it, you only have so much time with each character. You only have so much stage time with each character. Scenes are only so long. But with monologue play, you're stuck with a guy or a girl or whoever for a long period of time. And so it's really about the specifics of how they felt and what they saw. And so when I was writing that was the sort of the exercise that got me going in this direction. Yeah.
And of the one-person plays I have seen, when done well by the writer and the performer, it's really compelling how thorough of a story and how fascinating of a story can be told with just one person.
Yeah.
If you've got that marriage of good performer, good writer, and in this case, both are. You know them both pretty well.
Yeah.
So
I discovered in college when I started writing stuff that I would then perform that I was better at that than I was at stuff that I didn't write. So I feel like it might be a sort of a cop-out, but I do feel like I'm certainly better when I've written the part for myself.
Well, does that imply then that the character is close to you, that you, as yourself in everyday life, have a lot in common with maybe how this character speaks or sees the world or phrases his words?
That's a great question as well. It's a really interesting question. My initial reaction is I'm not like this character. He's lived his whole life in Pittsburgh. He probably hasn't gone past Beaver County or gone past West Virginia. He's stayed in sort of this little bubble. He makes terrible decisions in terms of what he does with his life, what he does with his money, how he spends his time, and I'd like to think that I don't make those kind of decisions. But all that being said, there are some things that, for sure, like opinions and ideas that I am working out that I've been struggling with in this day and age for my entire life about how people react to certain things that are in the play. Absolutely. So it's a little bit of both. This character is is sort of far away from me, but also not that far away from me. But I think that's part of the play, is that we're all pretty close to everyone else.
Oh, that's a nice sentiment. It's a small world after all.
Yeah.
You have kind of a fan base here in Pittsburgh, because I hear people talk.
Oh.
And so a lot of people around here have seen you do a lot of really great things on stage. How does this particular role push you beyond any place you've been on stage before? Challenge you in any completely different ways?
Well, I've never, with the exception of one occasion when I was in college, I've never done a play where it's only me on stage. And if I mess up, then there's no one else to blame. So that's certainly been a challenge and something that has been a lot of fun to work on. It's also, it's probably a character that not many people here in Pittsburgh have seen me play. I've been really lucky in my career that I've played lots of different characters. I've played lots of different things, from psychopathic teens to, the love interest or, hot guy, trying to get the girl. Which
typecasting.
Yeah. What can I say? But I've been lucky in that sense, and this character is sort of the character that I gravitate towards myself in that he's not a good guy. But he's also not a bad guy. He's right in the middle, and he's an enigma, and he's odd, and he's a good hang, and he's a lot of fun. And he's probably, a couple pounds heavier than I am.
Now, how will you achieve that on stage?
A little bit of a trickery, you know.
Ah.
You know, yeah. You know, just
I look forward to seeing that.
Several sweatshirts.
Yeah.
So it's that sort of deal. So yeah, it's definitely different from anything that people have seen me in Pittsburgh do, and it's certainly a challenge.
Now, being from the Mon Valley, that's where this character's from.
Yeah.
Does he perhaps have the local dialect?
He certainly does.
All right, so we're going to hear a little Yinzerese on stage,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Pittsburghese, whatever they call it now.
Yeah. We're definitely going to hear some Yinzer.
So you've done this in New York, right? And with the Pittsburgh accent.
Yeah.
What are New Yorkers' reaction to the Pittsburgh accent? Do people outside of Pennsylvania know what this is and know what it sounds like?
No. They have no. They all thought that I was doing a Boston accent. They all
a Boston accent poorly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they were like, "What is that? I don't understand what that is." But like that being said, all the jokes landed. They all understood what an at was. They all understood what a jagoff was. It translates. You know what I mean?
Now, did you have to polish it up, or were you able to go right to that accent because of being from around here?
I had to polish it up. So I did a show with Hatch Arts Collective a couple years ago where it was set in Washington County. And it was about fracking and all this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I remember that.
It was called Driftless. And I made the choice that my director and the playwright were kind enough to allow, where I did a Yinzer. I did a sort of Washington County sort of Yinzer. And so I would hang out with my dad's lawyer friends who all have it, and I would hang out with family friends who all have it, and I picked it up from them. Not to mention the fact that I did grow up here and I've heard it all my life, but I did perfect it and sort of had to polish it up. And now it's like I can't try and do an English accent without going into Yinzer.
It's like a virus.
It really is.
It clings on to you. You can't get rid of it.
But it's great. It's a great sound. I love it. A lot of people think it's ugly. I think it's really beautiful. I think I think the rhythm of it is really nice.
I then would like to hear somebody do like a love song album and sing it all in like Pittsburghese with the Yinzer accent. I think I need to have that proven to me. But I'm not saying that it's impossible. Maybe that could be the next show.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, we do deal with some psychic phenomenon in this.
Yeah.
Do you yourself have any experience with psychic phenomenon?
I would love to say I do, because that would be perfect on this thing, but I don't. When I was a kid, me and my friend Chris thought that the Grim Reaper lived in a shell of a car that was in the woods, and we attacked it with smoke bombs and sticks once. And that's as close as I came to
anything supernatural.
Any supernatural thing. However, I will say that Off the Wall is definitely haunted.
The Carnegie Stage.
The Carnegie Stage is definitely haunted.
What have you experienced?
You get feelings. And then whenever I've worked here, we've always shared stories that other people that have shared stories, and who am I not to believe them?
Just keep looking out for something. So, if you had to try and make a psychic prediction, how do you think audiences here will react to this?
They're gonna love it.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind that if you come see this, you will love it. There's just no doubt. You're gonna love seeing a Yinzer on stage. That you haven't seen that in a play ever, perhaps. And beyond that, it's just a fun, exciting play. It's 70 minutes. It's whipped quick. It's lights up, lights down. It's simple, and you're gonna enjoy Mac, the character I play. You're gonna have a good time with him, and it'll leave you with something to think about on the ride home.
Mon Valley Medium
Yeah.
here at Carnegie Stage coming up. You will not be connected with dead relatives. You will instead experience 70 kick-ass minutes of theater.
That's a perfect way to describe it. Kick-ass minutes, yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
To your success, sir, and all the best.
Thank you, Brian.